Welcome to the No Budget Indie Filmcast, where we dip into the independent film universe to highlight those little films that you might not have heard about elsewhere. Will you agree with our panel, or will our panel agree with each other? Tune in to find out. I am Milo Dennison, and with me, as always, is Claire Milan.
Hello.
And joining the two of us is Cathal Feeney.
Hello.
Today, we are talking about a film called Lorne, which stars Guy Pearce. Guy Pearce plays a man who is living by himself in the woods. And the film is set up like it might be a kind of a post-apocalyptic type film where he's this loner surviving, or maybe he's just some loner living out in the woods. It's hard to tell. It opens with a shot of him in a house that he finds a broken down old piano in. And then we hear these gunshots off in the distance, which startle him. And then we get his reaction to that, which kind of leads to that. This might be some type of a situation with, something happened to the human race and we're all fighting for survival type thing. It then cuts to later where he's sitting around a campfire making his dinner and somebody walks up and he then engages that person in conversation once he realizes that person is safe. The catch is that person, we don't see that person. That person is the camera. So the whole film is delivered as Guy basically doing a very long monologue, although there's cuts in it. So I'm sure he got opportunity to do multiple takes, but it's really just Guy Pearce talking to the camera as this other person and kind of talking about his life outside of this and his paranoia. And we learned a bit more about him, which leads to the film ending, giving us that idea that maybe he's possibly just some crazy person living in the woods, or possibly it's still a post-apocalyptic wasteland. It's up kind of for the viewer to decide, I think.
You know what's interesting? I thought this film was made in lockdown. I was convinced, right, this is a lockdown challenge Guy Pearce has done with his filmmaker friends. But actually, it wasn't. I think it was made in 2016. And it was it's a perfect lockdown film that wasn't made during the coronavirus, But I thought it was extremely atmospheric. I thought it was a terrific opening shot. Behind me on screen is the opening shot. And even the way he comes across the little piano and plays it, and it really sets up the scene. And I love the way he breaks the fourth wall. And you don't see many short films like this, but it's extremely well written. And the atmosphere that's created, you think it's kind of a dystopian film, but I don't know. You have you kind of change your mind halfway through. Mm-hmm. And is he hallucinating? Is he talking to someone? I just thought the way he acted in it, the delivery of it, it really showed you what he can do as a solo actor in a film like this. And you can tell as well that it was really well directed. There's great kind of colors to it. It's very well color graded. And I really, really enjoyed it.
Well, when I saw that Guy Pearce was in it, it raised my expectations for the film. And his performance was perfectly fine, as you would expect. But the film itself was quite minimalist. There isn't much that happens. And essentially it is just a monologue by Guy Pearce. And it could have been a play, and it had the feeling of taking place on a stage. And there was something Beckettian about it. I had an inkling that it might finish the way it did, but I wasn't quite sure. At the beginning, I thought he was breaking the fourth wall. And I know you said he did, but I'm not sure. I mean, I thought that we were going to be part of the film in a way, but it wasn't really quite like that. I suppose thematically it was about loneliness and isolation and the importance of social contact for maintaining your sanity, which are obviously, very appropriate in the current climate. But overall, it was kind of bleak and depressing. For the most part, it takes place in darkness. I wouldn't say it's a film that you would enjoy. It's one you might appreciate, or it would affect you on a deeper level. But that's from my appreciation. Well, you'll have to wait for the ratings to find out.
Yeah, from an acting standpoint, yeah, exactly. Guy Pearce is a very talented actor. Mm-hmm. So you would need somebody to his skill level to carry this off of just, on him the whole time.
Yeah, because the thing is the pacing of his acting delivery, because it's so easy to get into a kind of a monotone delivery with a monologue. It's very hard to kind of break it down and put those subtle changes into it. but he does it so well. So I wonder if there was another actor who wasn't as good as Guy Pearce, would it have come across as well as it does?
We'll test this out. I'll see if I can memorize the whole script.
Yeah.
And I'll shoot it in front of a green screen and see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can see the difference between a less talented actor and Guy Pearce.
But it's a director as well. Like, it's obviously directed like that. He's told what to do, so it's really well directed, and the director could have pulled that performance out of him as well. So,
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you should say. I was like you. I mean, I thought it was actually filmed during the pandemic, and I only really said it now that I realized I was wrong, because he does say on one stage he did ask this guy, "Are you sick?" and it's kind of look in his eyes. So it was almost like that. It was a sort of post-pandemic apocalypse sort of, kind of society that had developed. So I did. For me, it was that kind of a setup that it was some sort of new world as a result of some calamity that had happened.
Yeah, that's the question, because you're right. When he does ask that question, that leads to be like, have you got the virus that's going around or whatever? It certainly could have been made during the pandemic.
Because you don't see many solo acted short films. I've rarely seen them. And the ones I have seen, they drag on a lot. But I didn't notice this with this one. So it says, but it just shows you what I can do. Just one actor, one very talented actor.
Yeah, generally, anytime I see a solo show of any kind, whether it be a stage show, I can't say S's today, a stage show or a film or anything like that, I usually am pretty unimpressed with it, because most people can't carry it. And I think it's kind of pretentious in a lot of ways too, to basically imply that you are talented enough to be able to carry it. So luckily we got Guy Pearce.
Yeah.
Well, I know I was at one of the festivals I was at, I don't know, a year or two ago, where the director was saying that, like, the key to having a successful film, or one of the keys, or if you want to have a successful film, try and get somebody famous to be in it.
True. Yeah. I mean, if this was anybody unfamous, we probably would watch it and just be like, wow, that was lame.
Yeah, exactly.
It was interesting because we are going to see solo film projects coming out in the next year or two.
Yeah.
Like, people are making them. Even I'm making one at the moment, so, because I have to, because I can only rely on myself, and I just want to act through Zoom. But it's like, we will see loads of solo projects, film projects coming out in the next few months. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I keep wanting to do one, but I can't come up with an idea that I like. Is my problem. I'm kicking myself for it too, because I'm like, I got the time, I can do it, but I just have no good ideas.
And the thing is, we have the technology now. Like, we have green screen. We can, because we can't go places, and it's amazing what you can do.
But you could try and make a film about not being able to make a film.
Maybe that's my film. Yeah,
that could be interesting.
Kicking myself. Yeah. I got a cool graveyard not too far from here. I can go film myself.
There you go. You go back in time and create, a film. Do you know what I mean? You could have writer's block and a writer.
A whole film about some guy trying to make a film.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's genius.
Yeah, I'm sure it's been done.
Ratings. Who wants to go first?
Okay. Well, okay, I'll go first.
You go ahead, take one.
Oh, but it's so...
We could do it where we all shout our rating out at the same time.
Should we
do that?
Well, sorry, I'll go first. But yeah, it was. I thought it was a really lovely opening shot, and it shows you with a really good actor why can create when a simple setup, and it's very effective. So I give it 4 stars out of 5.
Yeah, I could appreciate it, and what it was trying to do, but I don't think it necessarily broke any new ground in any way. So I will give it 3 stars.
I really enjoyed the performance and all that, but I'm kind of with you, Carl. I don't think there's too much super original about it. And if it weren't for the performance, it probably wouldn't be that great. So I'm going to go 3 as well. And that's really due to Guy Pearce being in it. Yeah. He really made it a better film. So podcast listeners, as always, or YouTube viewers, as always, we will throw a link to the film so you can let us know what you think of it via leaving a comment or whatever. You can always reach us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at The No Budget Show. And with that, we will say, see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.